All right, I have this little demo scene here where I have a player where every single time it touches something else, anything else, it gets a force applied to it in the upward direction. Looks something like this. One of the first things I want to do is go and take my player and duplicate it. I'm going to demonstrate something really quick, which is a very common thing that we need to do in game development with our physics system. It's a really helpful tool. So let's say, for example, we have a bunch of these player objects, and when I hit play, the logic here is that whenever they touch anything, that it should get this upward force applied to it, right? So you can see that when they touch each other, they have an upward force applied to them. Well, say we don't want them to be able to collide with each other. The way that we could go about doing this is we would want these objects to sort of like filter out the collisions with one another. We want them to sort of just ignore collisions with each other. To do this, we're going to do it in two steps. The first step is we are going to go over here to our layer dropdown, hit add layer, and we're going to create a brand new layer. In this case, I'll call it player. I'm going to select all my objects, my players, and I'm going to put them all on that player layer just by changing that drop down here. I've had them all selected, so now they should all be on that same layer. The second thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Edit, Project Settings, and then in my Project Settings window, I'm going to go under Physics, and I can see this little matrix of collisions, essentially. This matrix down here determines which objects on which layers collide with one another. So I can take my player up here, go down to where it says player here, uncheck that, and now any two objects that are on the layer called player will not collide with one another anymore. Let me show you what I mean by that. If I go hit play, these objects will now just move smoothly through each other. We won't get those collision callbacks. See, so they're not touching each other at all right now. They're all just behaving completely independently. Let me demonstrate that a little bit better. If I take these objects and I kind of move them like this, and then hit play, you'll see that they'll just like fall right through one another. See? There's no collisions anymore hooked up between these different player objects. That's because of the physics layer filtering that I've just set up.